Mini Bloks plays
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hello and welcome to Mini Bloks Plays, and this is me playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan, new out as part of Turtle Week. And unfortunately, there's a little bit of a difference into how I'm playing this version of it and to how I did my previous Let's Plays. I ended up having a bit of a... It wasn't actually a technical issue at all. It just worked out convenient to record the footage and record the audio separately rather than trying to jump in and get it all done straight off the cuff. So this is... Well, this is actually, if I'm going to be honest, my second run of the game, which is why you missed the opening cinematic. I got that on the first one, but due to me plugging my headset into the PS4 controller, my gamer card didn't actually take out the audio, which surprises you a little bit, but never mind.
Dude,
so that all got thrown out.
It's the foot. What the heck are those foot losers doing here? Last
I mean, what can you say about the game? As it is, personally, I like it. I obviously picked it up because of the fact that it's Turtles. Make no arguments by the fact that clearly Platinum probably got contacted by Activision saying that they want a Ninja Turtles game coming out for release for the new movie. But thankfully it wasn't a movie tie-in and just let them have, I guess, somewhat more of a creative control over the project. Which is good. That's a good thing to have, because otherwise you'd ditch like a cool idea on Spider-Man and instead just change it to a movie tie-in, and movie tie-in games don't really do so well. Unfortunately though, I've checked out a couple of reviews for Mutants in Manhattan, and I can say that it's kind of met on like an average factor, which actually, having jumped into it a little bit and played it, I actually do feel the same, which is disappointing because I think people were hopeful to have like a good next-gen Turtles game, which it isn't, by the fact that I guess it's still on last gen. Not a massive factor, but you know, clearly they can't get full creative freedom to just go all out PS4, Xbox One. It's got to be unanimous, so it's probably just more of a port. So it'd be nice to see the Turtles get a full next-gen release, but you know, it's such a big license that you're going to lose out on so much of a market share. So I understand all that, you know, I get that. Pros though, I like the fact that you know, Platinum are a good developer. Platinum know how to do a good action game. I think the game looks and sounds and probably plays well. I think that's my first takeaway from it. I guess like everyone else, it's the style of the game that really stands out and just really hits you in the face as being something different. You've never seen the Ninja Turtles look like this before. A nice cel-shaded sort of in line with the current comic books from IDW art style. It almost doesn't quite work though, unfortunately for me, with like the writing. That the show is very much written, I guess it's very like the new films. It's Ninja Turtles in theme because the writing is exactly how it should be, but if you try and make that style look too adult or realistic, it kind of breaks the stupid, you know, the stupidity of teenage turtles eating pizza. It does sort of break it a little bit. I think that's one of the issues with the game, is its high contrast style and artwork kind of loses it with the writing a little bit. But I mean, that's a minor flaw. Overall the game's fine. The big problem is obviously the fact that Platinum's given it a good bit of sort of, not a lot of depth, but there's depth there to the gameplay. You know, you can get standard attacks, strong attacks, special attacks. You can swap out between the turtles. You can do shurikens. You can even do aiming shurikens. All sorts of different leveling up systems, and you know, it's fairly in depth. But then unfortunately they throw you out straight into this just button mashing sort of hack and slash themed world where you run around with your brothers. When, like this bit, for instance, on my first playthrough, we had to go stop a rampaging car. And I'm thinking, how am I supposed to catch up to this car on foot? So I'm trying to jump over the buildings and use the rails to try and get some speed. And yet my three brothers had already found it and just defeated it. And despite the fact that the game makes you want to, you know, it throws an emphasis on playing with your brothers as a 4-player co-op, even if you're using AI. But yet, I felt like, you know, this is sort of you to explore it as much as it is to work with your brothers. I mean, if you're just working with a computer, it's supposed to, in my opinion, let you sort of control the pace of the action and they follow you around and help you around. But as it was, they just ran off. They went full blown and went all over the place, and they're jumping up the walls and running down the streets, and I couldn't even find them and try and keep up with them. And it's like, that fundamentally broke it to me, because how are you supposed to... I'm either playing catch up to them, which if I'm supposed to be following a computer lead, then you're kind of taking out the whole point of adding in this sort of in-depth system. And what's the point of giving me gameplay when it's just utter chaos running around bashing muttons? Bashing muttons, I think that's the thing. Bashing buttons. Mashing buttons. Bashing buttons, mashing buttons. I really don't care. That's my first takeaway that stood out. Like, it defeats its own purpose of giving you different things to do from a gameplay perspective, and then just like throws you into just full-on chaotic combat, which just completely undermines the entire thing. There's a whole blocking system and different attacks that you can do, like parries, and you can dodge. You can dodge around the back of opponents and things. But yet, when you're surrounded by 7 foot with 3 brothers and multicolour things flying everywhere, you can't see who you're supposed to be trying to hit, so you're just smacking whatever button you can. And everything is just utterly chaotic. That how are you even supposed to know when someone's going to attack you to try and dodge it? It's like, it doesn't give you pacing. And I think that's kind of... It's like, yeah, fine, put all this good stuff in there from a gameplay perspective, but you've just lost it all by making it chaotic. And you can see here, like, it just came to a point where I was running around trying to do this objective, which I think is to stop these people that ran away. I think the foot that ran away with something, and they run ridiculously fast. So I'm trying to catch them up. This is you using a, I forget what it's called. Oh, there you go, I hit him. But I ran around for ages trying to find him, and like, it was just a bit, just not what you want it to be, I guess. I think that's the thing. It's more arcadey, which is good, you know. I actually quite like the fact that they made it a bit more arcadey. It actually sounds sort of more like old school, and I guess Turtles has its like high peaks with retro arcade games and retro SNES games, which is fine. But like having a good story told with these level of graphics and cinematics, and I love the art style, but actually strip back the open worldy running around chaotic landscape and just let you plot it and pace it. But I suppose how else do you match it with 4 people if you don't give everyone control? So it is a bit difficult to play it with AI. I'm not sure whether... I mean, this bit is all about you just get your points and you spend your points on different things that you can slot into your weapons and items wheel. You only get 4 choices. Your weapon wheel, item wheel, I don't know what you'd quite call it. It's just your directional pad selection choice. Which is more or less health or speed boosts or some sort of weapon that you might want, or like a turret. I bought the grappling hook because I thought I can use it multiple times, I can bring enemies to me, and then I can like use it to hook and stuff and move myself around, which seems more like a good ninja tool than the likes of a turret. You can get a missile launching turret or just a basic machine gun turret, and I thought, you know, tempting, I guess, to fight a boss with, but like, are they going to be effective on a boss? And what the hell does a Ninja Turtle need with a turret? So pizza and grappling hook, I felt like was a good choice. Good place to go.
You would do well to check your current possessions against the required price.
I think general consensus is I think this game hit bigger than people expected it to. Like, I thought it would do something, but I wasn't expecting it to like get as much coverage as it's had. I don't know statistics of it, but I'd guess that it's probably sold well. Again, it's probably going to sell better with the film being out yesterday. What does that mean? Does that mean that you could technically get a sequel? Which, I don't know if I want a sequel. I'd like them to get more of a... keep the theme, do it again. This is where I went completely wrong, you see, because the first time I played it, I got past this level the first time. I played as Raph the first time. If anyone watches my turtle videos, which there's a fair few, you'll know that my favourite turtle is Raphael, followed by Donatello. So my first playthrough, trust me, was Raphael. The fact that I got no audio with it meant that I can't even try and sync it, because it's gone. I've got to delete that and do it again. So I thought, right, to make it a bit more fun for myself, I'm going to swap it out and I'm going to take the lead as Donatello. When I got to the bank the first time round, I'm fairly sure it was on the ground floor. But apparently not. Although I'm fairly sure it was, so it might have changed up a little bit. This is one of the dumber things in the game so far. I hate the four brothers button mash or button hold as they weirdly gyrate up and down to lift gates and things. It's a bit much. So this is basically it. This is level 1. You run around in the street, you beat up a whole load of foot soldiers over just basic Spider-Man 2 level objectives, and then you get sent to a boss battle, which I'll let this take over because it's quite good.
So guys, if Bebop is trying to break into the safe, does that make this, piggy bank?
Leo, can you talk to this guy? I guess he's trying to bring home the bacon, huh?
Please, not you too, Leo.
So yeah, I thought actually that opening cinematic for the Bebop battle was actually quite good. It sort of makes him rather terrifying as a villain. The boss battle is actually quite difficult. It took me 3-4 attempts the first time round to beat him. I think I did this one in 2. First time though, I nearly got him, but just not quite. He takes some taking down. This is a double attack. Your special attack, if you land it close to one of your brothers, you can do like co-op attacks just off the cuff like that, which is, it's all neat, it's all done well, but as you can see, it's just a bit all over the place. Doesn't make it not fun. It's just, if you think that I don't know how many there are, 8 or 9 different stages, and it's like, I don't know obviously because I've not got any further than this one yet, but I mean, if your second stage is just go back into the streets, run around, beat up foot soldiers and Krang, stop some guy from robbing something, and then save some balloon that some kids lost, and then all of a sudden it's like, right, now go to this next location and fight a boss. If they do that 8 or 9 times in a row, which I have a horrible feeling that they probably will do, it's like, it's no wonder that the game's sort of reviewed badly, because it's like, I don't know, I think people just crave something a bit more. They've got a lot of good ideas in it. I just like to see a bit more story, a bit more level structure. It's hard to say. I find recently that more and more games are going open world or multiplayer or shooters or whatever. There's very few like level-based, story-driven games. I mean, I just completed Uncharted, so I guess that one rules that one up. But it didn't dawn on me until it's like Uncharted could potentially be over. It's like, what else is there that's like a good polished version of a story-driven, level-based game that isn't trying to be open world. My favorite video game series of all time was Metal Gear Solid, which was perfect. It's exactly that analogy. Great gameplay, level-based, and story-driven from the get-go. Metal Gear 5 was the exact opposite of that. From the immediate, you know, it starts and it's like, well, all these things that you like, we're changing that, and that's put me off even trying to get into playing it. I'm not sure what to make of Ninja Turtles yet. And I like it and it's fun and everything, but it's not like it's just going to be a good, convenient release for just a bit of fun, really. Convenient release, I mean that by the fact that it's not a movie tie-in game, but it's a game that's been built to tie into the release of a movie. So hopefully it does well and Platinum get to use the system and just go all out and make like a bit more of a story-driven, level design, you know, level-based game featuring the Ninja Turtles in this art style. I mean, that would be quite good. So for the boss battles, you're supposed to like swap in and out of your characters and try and like mix and match using your special abilities. When you run out of health, you roll around on the floor inside your turtle shell until your brother revives you. And if no one revives one of you, you turn into a blue circle and disappear through the floor. This is quite good. This is a Mikey move. Very Moonwalker-esque. Well, not very Moonwalker-esque at all, I guess, because that didn't involve turtles dancing under rainbow lights. But same principles, I guess. The first time round, I pretty much just stayed as Raphael, tried to defeat them that way round. I don't think it worked out so well. You're better off swapping in and out and doing special attacks, and then whilst you swap, you know, whilst you're doing your special attacks, one of your brothers probably got his recharged, and then swap in and out like that. But as you can see, it's not the most thought out boss battle. It's just chaotic fighting. I've heard good things though about like replayability if you get through the game and coming back through. I'm not gonna say it because you don't know about it, but I've heard that it does change it up a little bit, which is exciting. I'm looking forward to trying that out. This is me with the aim system with the shurikens. I thought that might help knock him down in hell from a distance. As I say, it took me 2 attempts to get through to defeating Bebop. Like right now I'm on stage 2 of his, no, just stage 1 of his 7 stages of health. You know, he takes some getting down. And I got him to more or less a quarter of his stage 1 health, and then lost. So I had to do it all again. But unlike playing Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin, I didn't have to start from scratch. I can just start straight on that boss battle, which I didn't enjoy playing that game for that reason alone. It made it so... It took the fun out of playing it because you try to play it and conserve all your health and energy and webbing and stuff. So you weren't actually having fun, you were just avoiding being shot and walking everywhere slowly, and it's like, I'd rather it just be completely chaotically fun. I mean, that's one thing that Turtles, I guess, sort of is. The bit before I got to Bebop and I was running around and on the rooftops and things, that was actually quite fun. When you just get to this is where I lost, obviously. Yeah. I'll cut to the end of the second boss battle. So I did enjoy just like running around the city without the foot soldiers, the Foot Clan everywhere. So it does control quite well, but it is a bit chaotic. Nothing special, unfortunately. This is a cool effect though. I like the comic book where all the 4 turtles are when they defeat the boss. And so that's the end of stage 1. Surprisingly, it's just hit as many buttons as fast as possible and just utter all over the place kind of fight. Again, it's fun, it's colourful, it looks good, it's Ninja Turtles, it's lots of good things about it. It's just, it's not anything to get excited about, unfortunately, which is a shame for a brand new next-gen Turtles game. But you know, I bought it, I'm playing it, that's one step further ahead. So this has been Mini Bloks Plays Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. Will I go back and record the next stage and the next stage? Not entirely sure yet. I'll have a think. I've got some other cool retro games to jump into, so let me know. If you want me to play through it, then I will do. If not, then I'll jump into something else. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below to stay up with the latest from my channel. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest under Mini Bloks. Make sure to go check out my Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin episode 5 finale, just in case you missed it. And if you want more turtle videos, then please go check out my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutations Mix and Match Series 1 figures. I really like the series, I really like the turtles, and my video's pretty good too. But for everything else, Mini Bloks Plays and video games, make sure to tune back in next week, Wednesday, 5 PM, Mini Bloks Plays something.